I just wanted to do a short video, a little educational video on how to install a Harbor Freight engine on your air compressor. It's a little tight to do it the way I did it, maybe other ways, who knows. But of course bolting it on is simple. My belt is shot, so I'm not putting it back on right now, but you can see it's ready to go. But the hard part is hooking up this valve assembly right here. I'm going to move my stool over and explain this. What happens is your throttle normally wants to go back. So you have to install a spring on it so that it wants to go forward. You want it to go that way, throttle up. So what I did is I took this little return spring off that pulls it back, and I added a spring over here to make it pull forward this way. So now, if you start it, it's wide open. Well, not wide open, the governor takes over, but it's full throttle all the time. And what happens is when it builds pressure, this plunger pushes it back to idle, like that. Well, that's the hard part of hooking these up. It's not terrible, but it is a little bit hard. So what I'll do is, since I don't have the belt hooked up, I have my shop air compressor right here. We'll air this tank up. Let's see. I hope I have enough in my air compressor. If I turn it on, it's going to be noisy. I got a little leak here someplace. Oh. My valve on the engine open. That's not too smart. But I painted this thing all up. And I stuck this Harbor Freight engine on here. Now if my shop air compressor doesn't have enough to do it, at least I can put some in here and show you how this works. It's pretty simple. I can flip the valve over here, there's a valve, and activate it. See how that goes back to idle, and then it goes back to full. Let's shut this off because we have enough air. And so what happens is, as it builds up enough air pressure now, it pushes the throttle back to idle. And then back to full as needed. Back to idle. When it's idling, it's blowing off out the air filter, which is kind of nice because it blows back through the air filter and blows it out automatically. So basically, you need to get your air cylinder to just push your throttle back. And then you need to put a spring on it to pull it wide open. And there you have it. There's different ways of doing it on different engines. This is how I decided to do it here because it was the simplest. There's a line that goes on the back of the air filter that's a little bit kinked in there, but it still works fine. So that's how I did it. If other people do it, good luck. Like I said, there's different ways, different throttle linkages, but you always got to have your throttle sprung up on full, and then it pushes back to idle. Now the ones with the cable instead of an air cylinder here, some of them have a cable, they're even easier because you can hook it over here and just pull the throttle. It's not too bad. That's called a bullwhip. This one's an air cylinder. The other one's called a bullwhip. It's just a cable. Well, good luck, people. You know, I think I'll bring this a little farther and I'll show you how it works. Okay, see this line under here is a little bit kinked under there, but it's still active enough. I'm going to try to keep my head out of the video somewhat, but I do have to get down there and look. Okay, now I'm going to get this hose back in its hole. You squish it in there, it'll go. But it fits a little tight, but it fits. It fits good, actually. There's that part. We're going to put nuts on it. Of course, I don't have the belt hooked up, but you can get the idea of what's happening here by doing this. I have a little leak I feel in my finger. under here. Yeah, I didn't put any Teflon on that one. And it's just snugged in there, so. But it's only for airing this up quick. So we'll stick these back on. And we have our air filter back on. Knock them up a little. You don't have to go crazy with these. They got nice gaskets. And there's this little screw in the air filter that holds the top. As you can see, it all fits back on right over top of that air cylinder. There's not much room, but there is room. Okay, now we put our air filter back in. I wasn't really going to do a video of this because I was just so busy trying to build it. I got a new service truck and I'm trying to get that done, get air on it. I have a nice generator that goes on it. Okay, now we can choke this thing, turn on the gas, and there you have it. That air cylinder pushes back the throttle. That spring pulls the throttle wide open. So, like I said, good luck. It works very nicely. This was an old rusty M-Glow, but I fixed it.